Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. This is week 25. 25 kind of reminds me of Christmas. So,
Yeah.
I have been a demonstrator for just over 19 years. I live in the state of Michigan. My daughter, Julie, other way, lives in Illinois, and she too has been a demonstrator for over 19 years. She joined before I did, so I signed up under her. And we just love this. And we decided, since we don't really get together too often because of distance to stamp, we would do it online. So how are you, Jay?
Good. I have been having so much fun with Sunday Stamping. I don't know if you said your complete name, but this is my mom, Susan LaCroix. And I don't know if I got my last name in there. I'm Julie Davison. We've been doing this for 25 times. You'd think we'd have it all down yet, but if you're not a regular subscriber, we do this every Sunday at noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. So make sure you subscribe to one or both of our channels so you can watch and check out the premiere every week with us. But yeah, I have been having so much fun sharing with you, Mom, each week. And today is, it's the day before this is going to air. What is today? The 20th? Sunday, the 20th?
20th. This is the 21st. Sunday, the 21st.
Okay. Today is Saturday, but tomorrow's Sunday, the 21st. I can't believe it's the end of November and it's almost Thanksgiving. It has been so busy.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that we get to see you again this week.
I know we go 18 months and not get to see each other. And then, we have several. I have to share with everybody that last weekend, we both attended the virtual conference with Stampin' Up called On Stage, where we got to see and play with some product in the upcoming January through June mini catalog and the upcoming celebration for January and February.
I think we can show it, can't we?
Yes, we can. I don't think we can open it up, but there it is. Yeah, mine's somewhere. I'm not quite sure where mine is.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to play with my new stuff yet. My box is sitting over there and I opened it.
I did open it. I pulled up because I ordered things for door prizes at our team meeting. So I wanted to make sure that I did. And so the winners, the prizes are on their way to the winners. So that was pretty exciting. And I really do want to play, but I have some things I have to get done. So I have to let myself, that's my reward.
Yeah.
For getting some things done. So, and I want to get them done before when everybody kind of comes for Thanksgiving. So
hopefully we'll get a chance to play with some new stuff.
Oh,
now if you're a demonstrator right now, you can see these catalogs on the Demonstrator website right now under Happening Now catalogs. And if you're not a demonstrator yet, then you might consider joining right now. During the month of November, we have the special Start with Savings, and the starter kit is discounted. I cannot believe that they're doing this. Usually they add on to the starter kit, so you get something extra, but this time they reduced the price. Normally it's $99, and right now through November 30th, it's $75, and you can choose $125 plus tax. Well, $125 worth of product, and then it's $75 plus tax, and shipping is free. So it's like a savings of like $68 or something like that.
It's crazy.
Buy that yourself. So
yeah. And one of the perks of that is that you can then pre-order starting December 1st from the new mini catalog to get ready for our January. I've been ticking things off. So, I mean, there's things that I want right away. Some things are going to be, okay, this is a later order.
Yeah.
Unless I just can't wait and get it all. I don't know. But anyway, so busy weekend for both of us. I know Elise has basketball. She's in a basketball tournament, and Jim's got the older one's off hunting, Because hunting
He's here
season
right
has
now, but he
started.
has been hunting this weekend. Yeah,
There you go.
nothing yet. So we'll see. Deer hunting this weekend before Thanksgiving. So yeah, I
Yeah.
have a blue mark on my hand from the basketball game. Like,
Oh, what did you
that's my well, it's like I paid to get in, and
Oh,
so
got
like
it.
they put a mark so I can get back in again. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be in the video. But
Oh, well,
it's
it's
already
worth it.
half like washing them. Oh yeah, it is. They won their first game in the playoffs, 7th grade
That's
girls
awesome.
basketball, and the second game is in just a little bit. So we're so excited. Elise is playing really well, and
Well, you know what? So let's jump into it.
yes, let's
Okay,
jump right to
so
it. Okay, I'm going to switch the camera to my desk so I can show you guys the suite that we're featuring today. This is in the July through December mini catalog. It's called Peaceful Place. And I didn't get it right away, but I feel like I'm finally just playing with it now that I feel like it's time to transition to the Christmas and winter stuff and away from the fall. I'm finally getting some of this stuff out. So the Peaceful Place is a suite that I'm just starting to play with now. It is on pages 36 and 37 in the mini catalog. So I'm going to give you a close-up look. We've got a lot going on in this suite. And if you've been looking at this suite, unfortunately, there are a few back order things I will tell them about. I'll tell you about them as we go. So the first thing is this beautiful stamp set. This is a distinctive stamp set. We've got red rubber here with the beautiful cabin and the trees and that cute little fox. And then some really great sentiments. Thank you for you. Wishing you the best. May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. And of course, coordinating dies. So some that die cut the images and some that are detailed die cuts that just coordinate with the stamp images that you can mix and match. So we've got this great bundle, Peaceful Cabin. And then we have this gorgeous specialty designer paper. This is a 12 by 12.
This is what made me get this. Like,
yes.
Day before we could even order it, I was drooling over it. I love this paper.
Well, and I started with the paper and I was like, I don't need the bundle, but then, I mean, you know how that goes. So yes, this is a specialty paper. It's got the silver foil on every single sheet. And these sheets are kind of unique. So this one is actually like it's 4 6x6 squares to make up the 12-inch sheet. So it's 4 designs exactly like this that are tiled. And then this one has two rows of trees. So one like this, and then the paper, it would be the other way so that you can cut it and have, you know, a card front each have a row of trees. Really beautiful silver foil on the white. And then we have the timber bark, silver on gray. And then this one almost reminds me of rain or like, you know, icy snow. This one is my favorite pattern with the snowflakes and then the silver foil detail in there. And then this one is really beautiful as well. I left it as a 12 by 6 so that you could see like the other half of it is just like the same thing. So it has more of a long design. This would be so beautiful on a scrapbook page or in a frame. Is this the piece you're using in your card, Mom? Or is it?
It is.
This
It
one?
is.
Okay. I remember you wanted me to show because you're almost out of this paper. You've been using it so much.
I don't have a full pack to show or share. The one that's the 6x6, the tiles, the 4 tiles, that's completely gone. I use that for Hostess Club. So we did some things with that. And then your favorite one, I did that, use that card in a swap when we first were doing this. So yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of it left. I have enough. I think I could do a card class with it or have it as part of a Christmas card class. So
I love it. Well, one of the other things that's part of this suite, and this is not going to show very well on camera, is this white velvet. So it's just like a flocked sheet. It's white. It comes in 12 by 12 and there's 2 sheets in the package. Then we have this timber embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder. I'm not sure how well that texture is coming through. That's a little better. You can see I did it. Maybe I should have done it on a different color. But beautiful texture, really similar to what's going on here. with the silver, except it's an embossing folder. And then these are the two trouble items. The white ribbon is currently on back order and should be available again around November 29th. The white glitter organdy ribbon. This has been really, really popular, in and out of availability. Its cousin is the black organdy, glittered organdy ribbon in the mini or in the annual catalog, and I just love that one. I've been using it so much. So white one is on back order until November 29th. I would say if you're wanting to order it, I would put your order in soon and it will ship as soon as it's available. I'm concerned it will go into not available as more are sold. This one, the subtle shimmer sequins, are currently not available. Just beautiful shades of like white and sort of a see-through vellum and silver and a matte silver. Really, really beautiful for snow. These are not available to order right now and are set to be back in stock around December 13th. However, Mom, I'm going to have you share. There is a really well, there's another sequin assortment in the annual catalog, and I think it's a really good substitute. So I'll have you show that really quick when we switch the camera.
Sure, be happy
over. And okay, so that is the suite, the Peaceful Place suite with a Peaceful Cabin bundle. And so today we're going to be sharing projects. Actually, before I jump over to you, Mom, let me just show some card samples created with this suite. Things are sliding all over. Some of these are swap cards. In fact, the first few are from the Great Big Card Swap that I did last week with the Christmas showcase. So this one is from Shirley Monkman. I love the colors here, the brown and green, because so many of the cards are using the shades of gray. Here's one from Nan Moore, and I love how she added the little glitter paper in there and some of the tidings of Christmas and just all the layering here. It's so beautiful. With this suite, we've got the stamped and die cut trees, the evergreen embossing folder, and I love how the cabin just peeks through the trees there. Here's one from Dee Chamberlain that uses the designer paper and then the wintry snowflake embossing folder on top. Layered tags from the Stitch So Sweetly. Here's another one with the same designer paper pattern. This one is by Jill Pace, and she used the scallop border die here, and just I love that black and white gingham ribbon. So pretty to go with this paper. A little stamping on the inside. This is one from the Great Big Card Swap too. This one is by Melissa Perry, and it's a double Z fold card. Oh my gosh, I totally have to copy this idea. I love having the designer paper in the background and then building this scene that pops up with the die cut trees. Isn't that cool, Mom?
That's beautiful.
I love that. There were several in the Great Big Card Swap that were spanner panel cards. And so of course I had to copy that. I shared the spanner panel card when we showed the Pretty Pumpkins video. So we'll have to link to that in the video description so you can check out that past episode of Sunday Stamping to see how to make the spanner panel card. And then the last one is a swap from Tammy Ackerson that I got. So, oh my gosh, just so many beautiful cards, and you've done some really amazing things. Let me jump over to your screen, Mom, so you can share with us what you've been making with this bundle.
Sure. Well, first of all, before I do, these are the sequins I think you were talking about, Jules, right?
Yeah.
This is sequins for everything. And it really is, because you've got some reds and greens, which are great for Christmas. This one here has some silver and some gold, and this is some orange and coppery color sequins. So it comes in this little 4-pack kind of a thing, so you can get them all.
And that's in the annual.
That would be a great substitute if you want to use sequins on your project with the suite and you don't have or aren't able to get the other sequins quite yet. Okay, so as Julie mentioned, this is this 12 by 12 paper, and what I did with it is I have a 6 by 12. I'm going to just put this down, and I'm going to cut this, because what I want to use this part. So I'll save these for something else, but I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to just cut it at 6 inches for the moment, just to give me a smaller piece to work with. Oh, as my card goes falling. Right. right, so I'm going to put that aside. And so I have this piece left that I'm going to use. My card base is going to be basic gray, but you could use basic white if you want. So I am going to actually, I think, turn this upside down. And so I'm going to cut this down to 5.5 by 4 1/4. And just make sure I have the, no, I think this has to be the 4 1/4 before I cut this all wrong. Make sure my orientation is correct. I mean, if you do want to, I'm doing a portrait style card. If you wanted to do a landscape, obviously you would cut this maybe a little bit different. So here we go. All right. So here is the piece I'm going to be working with. I don't need my cutter anymore. And what I did ahead of time is I went ahead and I die cut out the cabin. So I stamped and die cut it in basic gray. I also I did some of the trees, and I'll be cutting this apart as I move forward with this. And then there is a piece of designer series paper, the one with the bark, and the B side of it, or maybe it's the A side, are just rows of trees. So for the inside, because there's not a stamp that's small enough, I went ahead and I fussy cut out just a few of the trees that I'll use on the inside. All right. So let me fold this. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. Now, actually, I want to turn it this way. What I'm looking at is like the cloudy sky with snow falling. That's my, so let me get out my favorite adhesive. And in preparation, I have a brand new one that I need to open if all of a sudden I come across a dry bottle. All right. So we're going to glue this on and slide this around till I get it right. And I need to put a little more glue in that bent little corner. Okay. All right, so I have this piece done. And I am actually going to, you know what? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this piece off, this tree. Where are my scissors? Oh, I didn't pull them out. I think I want this for the behind the cabin. So I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to, I want to lay my tree down, or my, you know what I did, Julie? I cut too much off the bottom of this. I left a bigger piece of white, but I'm going to try to tuck this and make this work.
Could you have a cabin in front of the trees?
I could, but I'm going to do my greeting.
Oh.
So I want my greeting to be on here. That's okay. I'm going to make this work.
I kind of like the cabin like peeking out from behind the trees.
Yep. Yep. So I'm going to make this work. Okay. I do want to get rid of some of this little bit of gray from cutting off the other tree. So, here we go. I think what I like about this set is that you can create scenes any way you want.
Yeah.
Right? So, all right. So I'm going to, before I go any further, I'm going to do a little bit of trimming here. Watch me cut the card now. Because I've never done that before. Okay. So before I go any further, I'm going to stamp "Wishing You the Best" right in this corner. And I'm using basic gray. I just love the dramatic look of the blacks and the grays and the white.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so "Wishing You the Best" is going to go right down here in this little corner. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to leave this up because I need it. So I'm going to glue my house down flat. So let me just make sure I've got this where I want it. Kind of peeking out. Okay. And then I'm going to take some dimensionals and put this.
Ooh, I'm just noticing you use the detail
I did.
on there too. So there's a die that goes around the edges and a die that cuts some detail in there. Or is that
Yes.
two separate passes through the die cutting machine?
Actually, I just lined up the dies together and cut it. And I purposefully did not do the smaller tree that's going in the back.
Okay.
I just wanted to do the detail on the front. Don't ask me why. It was just the mood I was in when I was making this card. So we will get rid of our little backings here. And come on. And put this guy on here for some dimensions.
Oh,
and then this
so
guy,
pretty.
I'm just going to tuck behind the cabin. So he's going to be a little flat.
Have you used the little fox on any of your cards yet?
Yeah, I haven't. Isn't that silly? It's cute as whatever. Why can't I get you in here? There we go. Close enough. Okay.
So pretty.
Yeah, and I'm now wishing I did because I have too much white over here. I'll show you. I'll get this one done and then I'll show you my.
You could put that tree in the front.
I could.
Do you feel like it needs?
Let's take him off here.
That fill in the.
Maybe, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right. So maybe around here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it up front.
Okay. Well, you'll see both cards, so then you can tell me which one you like better. Then for the inside, I just took a piece of basic white and I stamped, "May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season," in here. If you notice this grid paper, when we got our package, they included like 5 or 6 sheets of this beautiful grid paper for us to use during the event on stage at home. And I love it. I think it's pretty. I hope they sell this.
I like the 2 grids, having the centimeters and the inches.
Metric and imperial. Yeah, I do too.
And the border is just beautiful. It's one of the new designer papers.
Yes, it is. The one we used. So I'm going to just glue these kind of in the corner so we have some little trees peeking here. Before we glue this on the inside. Again, I can smush it around. Love, love, love this glue. And then we'll just put this on the inside of our card. I mean, these do make up very quickly for Christmas cards.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do any embossing because the snowflakes are, give it some sparkle. I'll get some adhesive remover out. So here is the way I originally designed it.
Oh, I like that. So you had the big piece on the cabin and then the other trees are cut out? Okay.
Yep. And I just kind of did it opposite when I was prepping. I wasn't even paying attention. Silly me.
I like it both ways though.
Yeah. I'll have to get the adhesive remover out. I got some adhesive stuck there, but so you can just let us know in comments which one you like better. We'll say this is the one I made today, and that is the one that I made before.
Oh, that's tough.
It is tough. It really is. Let me show you just a couple of other cards as I pointed out for our swap when the catalog first came out. This is what I did. So I used that all over stars.
Yeah.
I embossed the trees in silver, stamped this, and I've got Wink of Stella all over this just to give the house, a little shimmery snow. And then I used some of the sequins from the ones that aren't available. And then just stamped, may you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season. So that was the card I did for the swap.
It's kind of your fault that I had to get this suite because it was like your card. I was like, oh, I need that.
If we live closer, you could have just borrowed it, but
that's so pretty.
Thanks. And then this is the card we did at Hostess Club. So this was that piece of paper, and I'll have to show you what else we did with it, but that I cut down. We embossed some stars that are in the stamp set, and then I embossed the greeting in silver on a piece of vellum, and then just put that on a piece of basic white, and then just put some of the black ribbon behind it. I tried the white, but honestly, I just felt like because there's some black in here, that's what we did. So so that was what we did. And because that piece of, the other thing I did was I couldn't decide if I'd like silver or black on the greeting.
Ooh.
So I embossed one in black. I almost think I like the black better. And it was interesting because a lot of my Hostess Club members like the silver because of the silver snowflakes they embossed. And some said, I'm not going to use the vellum. So they just stamped right on the piece of basic white. And this punch, and I forgot the name of this punch, but it's in the annual catalog.
Label Me Lovely. It's one of my favorites.
Thank you. Yeah. So I used the Label Me Lovely punch. So again, in comments, let me know. So what we did is we had, because of this extra piece that's left over from the 6x6, right? I had to make either a tag or a bookmark.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so they just 'tis the season, and I don't remember what stamp said, and to and from. So if they wanted to use it as a gift card, they could. And then we used that little, it's the punch that has like a hole punch and a corner rounder.
Yeah, the trio
punch, right? We used that to punch the hole at the top. So that was one of their club projects, was the card and the either gift tag or bookmark, whatever they chose to use.
I love those so much.
Yeah, thank you. I like I said, I love this paper, and that's why I don't have a whole lot left of it. And if it was going to carry over, I'd buy more, but it's not. So unfortunately, the paper, I mean, it's good to switch over paper every catalog, but yeah. So Julie, I'm done. If you want to switch to your desktop to show.
All right. So I'm not showing whales today, but I wanted to share this card because it is sort of similar to what we're doing. So we've done this before, the clear envelope shaker card, right? So we're using the clear envelope, and then there's designer paper and the sequins, and then it's like wrapped around this piece that's in the front. Well, Patty Bennett took it one step further and did a whole card front that's a shaker. And so that is what inspired my card today. Side note, if you're looking for sequins, the Whale of a Time sequins are in the clearance rack right now.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so there's some seashells in there, but if you take out the seashells, it's beautiful shades of blue, and that could totally work for winter cards. So quick plug, check out the clearance rack for some awesome things. So today I'm using a clear envelope. I am going to use some of those sequins that are currently not orderable, but if you really want to duplicate this card, then you can use those sequins for everything that are in the annual catalog. So I've got some things that are done. This should come together pretty quickly. So I'm starting with actually 3 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I just dropped a piece. I've got to grab it. Okay, so 3 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. One of them is the card base, which is smoky slate. One of them is a piece of designer paper. This is the one that has those trees you just showed us on the back. So it's sort of smoky slate with the white trees, and then a piece of acetate. So this is window sheet. All 3 of those are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I have some die cut pieces, 2 that are white and 1 from the designer paper. And I cut these with the Stitched So Sweetly dies, my very, very favorite. I hope that everybody got them while they were on sale last week, because they're so versatile, all the different shapes and the scallop rectangles. So I cut these all 3 from the same side. So let's start first with the shaker element. So we're using that clear envelope, and we're going to slide the acetate inside to give it some stability. We'll add some sequins.
I never thought to add a piece of acrylic for stability. I've just used the envelope.
Yeah, well, when you're adding like wrapping it around another piece, then I think it's not as big of an issue. But this is going to be like our entire card front is going to be this this clear envelope. So I might be able to put some more in there, but I'm going to leave it just like that. And then I'm going to wrap this around and adhere it to the back of the designer paper. So I actually want to add some extra tear and tape, and I feel like I want to just make sure that this is, I'm going to add some tear and tape like right at the seam, because I want this envelope to not pop open. I don't want anything to slide, off at all. And I'm going to wrap it around here. And so
Hey, Julie.
Yep.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Have you thought about just sliding the designer series paper inside the envelope?
The designer paper is going to be the inside. So I'm going to show you. Hold on. So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. So this is just going to be like the clear envelope is like the front flap of the card. So I've added some tear and tape on the edge of the designer paper as well. And then I'm also going to use this, which is adhesive. And I'm going to like roll this whole thing over so that the flap, like it comes over. So like this is the card front, that whole piece. And then it opens up like that. So the acetate inside like helps to add some stability, so that can be a card front on its own. And then we're going to layer the designer paper onto the card back, and it's going to cover the whole thing. So the cardstock really is just for stability for the designer paper. So the front of the card is the clear envelope, and then the designer paper is the back of the card. And since we've got so much going on, I am going to use tear and tape on the cardstock and go all the way around the edges, so my designer paper doesn't peel up or anything crazy like that. I would use the liquid glue, but with the plastic here, I'm not sure how that liquid glue.
Yeah, I don't know. I think your best bet is the tear and tape. So
would stick, or I still don't use it a lot, but the Seal Plus I think would work really well too here.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so I'm going to take off all these pieces.
I wish I could remember the name of the demonstrator who showed us in our last, was it maybe on stage, where I think she was from England.
I think it was Rosemary Gonzalez who did the clear envelope shaker.
Okay, I can't remember, but oh my gosh.
With the Hey Girlfriend.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Maybe it was somebody else. Okay,
I don't remember.
So now I've put it onto the cardstock, so it kind of hides, like I don't see, where it was folded over the edge of the paper. So this is the card front, and then this is the inside of the card. That's kind of fun, isn't it?
Wow, yeah.
Okay, so then the the front of the card is going to have like a focal point, and then it's going to line up with the piece that is inside. So those will line up so that you don't see them. Sorry, there's such a shine here. So I'm going to stamp these pieces. I have a little mini paper for stamping off the edge. So I'm going to stamp on one of them. This is for the inside, a corner of the trees. And on the front piece, I'm going to stamp all the trees. And we're going to add some sentiments. So for the inside, I think we're using the same one.
Yeah.
May you enjoy the piece, but they're so good.
They are. They're perfect.
Okay, so that's for the inside.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Wishing you the best. I know. I almost wish that I came down a little farther with the trees, so it had a little room to breathe, but that's okay. It's done. For the front, I stamped and die cut a tree, and I wanted to point out I love this die, like, because when you line it up, it cuts the little hole for the porch, and there are holes on that side too. So I thought that was really fun. So the die cuts out like the whole like a whole scene, like in the front with the snow. So I've added a little Wink of Stella on the roof and also the snow in the front. And this is going to go on the front of the card like that with the Stampin' Dimensionals. And so the first thing we want to do is add the piece to the inside, because then we can line up the front piece, you know, over the top. So this one first.
Oh, Jay, I love this card.
I know, right? And then this one, and we can use Stampin' Dimensionals, or we can use tear and tape. I think I'm going to use tear and tape because we've already got the sequins, which are adding some dimension to the card. So I'm just going to do 2 pieces of the tear and tape and center this over the piece that's already there, so that the inside piece doesn't show through to the front. Okay. Wow. But of course, when you open it up, you're going to be able to see the tear and tape, and it looks kind of messy. So I die cut a piece from the designer paper just to go over that and cover it. So when you open it up, it's going to look like.
Oh, lovely. Ooh, lovely,
actually,
lovely.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Which side do you like?
Oh, man. I don't know. I think the cabin.
Okay. That was my original intention. I think if I used this side, I might die cut some trees and like layer, like layer that out a little bit. And so this is going to layer right over from the inside to cover up the adhesive.
I am so making this card.
I know, isn't it fun?
Wow.
So this idea came from Patty Bennett. Like I said, it was sort of just like a take on, you know, wrapping around the cardstock, but instead the whole card front is that like clear through shaker, clear. I should have put some more sequins in there. I feel like it could have had a little more, but
wow.
There it is.
Yay.
All right. Are you ready to come back and show our cards together?
I am.
Let's replace the spotlight and add the spotlight. Okay. Oh, yay. there it is.
Cheese.
Oh my gosh. Okay. If you don't have the Peaceful Cabin suite yet, you really need to think about it. The mini catalog is kind of coming to a close. There is just 6 weeks left.
Yeah. January 3rd, I believe, is the last day to order from it.
That sounds right. So that's coming up really fast. And starting, when does that last chance sale start?
December 1st.
Okay, so they did put the list out already of the last chance items. So these are things that are retiring from the mini catalog. And some of them are discounted. I don't think anything from this suite was discounted.
I think it is. I don't have my list handy.
I don't either. It's in the other room. But I think we can share the list. So shall we link to it in the video description?
We can, because I was just thinking I need to start getting that out there, because especially with Thanksgiving coming, people are going to be busy and they're going to want to stock up on things from the mini
and plan their purchases.
and plan their purchases. Exactly. So yeah, I think we can. So yeah, we'll put a link in with our descriptions to the last chance list. And yeah, I think that's it. So I'm excited because we're going to get to see you guys in a few days.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Yeah.
It really
I
is
know.
just a few days. Oh my gosh. I feel like I have so much to do before then.
Right. And I really need to work on some Christmas shopping. So I need yours and Jimmy's and the kids' lists and
Yes.
because I want to I want to get it done. I got a lot going on between now and when we come to you
Yeah.
for Christmas. So yay.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyway,
we'll get all that figured out later,
we
but
will.
let's say goodbye for now and
Bye,
sign
everybody.
off. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
Hopefully
Happy
you enjoy
Thanksgiving.
the holiday with your family and friends. And we
And if
will
you're
have
traveling, we pray for safe travels. If you're cooking, we pray for good cooking.
yes. And if you're not cooking, we also pray for good cooking.
That's true. All right. Well, listen, everybody, week 25 is in the can. So we will see you next week. Have a good one. Jules, I love you.
Love you too. See you soon.
Everybody. Bye, everyone.
Bye.